understand that these things of which I speak shall come to pass. Come forth and answer to your names by manifesting my desires. Oh, hear the names.
Eccoci qua ragazzi.
Ciao ragazzi.
Siamo arrivati, perfetto.
Ciao
C'è un piccolo problema con Instagram, cerco di risolverlo quanto prima, perché siamo in doppia, ma adesso arriveremo in tripla, quindi in tripla piattaforma. Oggi, ciao Gianetta, ben arrivata.
Ciao, buonasera a tutti ragazzi, piano piano che vi state collegando, ciao.
Allora, oggi andiamo in Germania, Ingurgitating Oblivion, band avant-garde, technical death metal su tutte le etichette, ma andiamo su technical death metal direttamente. Andiamo su una band che è attiva dal 2001 con appunto il primo EP e poi via via discorrendo fino al 2024, appunto l'ultimo album che hanno rilasciato la band, appunto teutonica. Allo stesso tempo ci sono i due membri, oggi abbiamo niente poco meno che Norbert Müller, chitarrista, e Florian, che è appunto chitarrista solista, nonché dal 2000 al 2014, e poi chitarrista cantante dal 2014 presente in line-up. Quindi un duo alla Anana Track, per chi conosce il gruppo Albionico, altro gruppo veramente stratosferico, quindi un altro nome veramente da segnare. Quindi andiamo a chiamare Mr. Florian. Welcome Florian.
Hi guys. All right.
E poi andiamo a chiamare Mr. Norbert. Welcome Norbert.
Here you are, but no, it's gonna disappear.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Hello guys, welcome to Il Calice Nero. It's a real pleasure and an honor for us to have you tonight. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yes. Likewise, good to be on the show. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much. As we always ask to our guests, please introduce yourself, your band, and your music to the audience of Il Calice Nero.
All right, Norbert, who goes first?
You go first, like
I go first, ladies first. All right, there you go. Yeah, my name is Florian. So as you can guess from the etymology of my name, it's a Latin first name, so flowering, right? And maybe you realize that some of our songs are also about blossoms, and explicitly using the term of blossoms. So maybe that's a bit of a coincidence. Based in Germany, in the northeastern part of Germany, I'm by the Baltic Sea area. I didn't grow up here. I grew up kind of in the area close to the Dutch-German border. Founded the band, I think, in 1995, 1996, under the name of Trees and Orchids, and then we changed the name, or the band's name, around 2000, 2001, and I'm, as you correctly stated, the guitarist and the vocalist guy. Yeah, that's me.
You understand a little bit of Italian, do you?
But only the bad words, so don't provoke me, please. Very telling of my character. Yeah.
Please, we don't swear
No,
here because we're going to ban from everything. So please, but backstage thereafter, we can.
Oh yes, yeah. We'll do that.
Much as we want. So this bound with blossoms and flowers is already it's always been like important, as you said. I'm referring to the very first name of the band.
Yeah, maybe subconsciously, but we'll explore that later on. But first, Norbert.
Okay, that was your turn. Would you like to add something?
What? Anna?
Would you like to add something from what Florian said?
Yeah, I'm the second guitarist and more for the technical stuff, recording. And I'm from Berlin. I live all my life here. That's the capital of Germany, for some people who doesn't know in Italian. And in Italy, not in Italian.
I hope that everybody knows it.
Norbert, come on.
Can I say something bad? You're not speaking to Americans, so
thank you, John. I appreciate
come on.
We can always know Berlin. Yeah, that's because of the war. Yeah, and I met Florian in 2013, I think, or 2012. So, and and we both, like grotesque, absurd, and dissonant music. And I am more from the leaning more to the thrashy, more straight stuff, but also dissonant stuff. And Florian is more more the artist brain of Ingurgitating Oblivion, who gives the music this special style. Yeah, so that.
It's kind of actually recent. 2012 is not really recent, but it's kind of recent collaboration that you did, and you.
It's 13 years collaboration.
Yeah,
we did 2 albums now together, and we are three, almost 3. Yeah,
come on. I always do the same.
Yeah, Florian gives Ingurgitating Oblivion this well-known weirdness and depth in the riffing, and in the latest, in the last 2 albums, you hear again more death metal in a classic way, like D-side riffs. That's mostly my part. Mostly, not every time. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense to me. Thank you very much. I will translate to Italian, or I'll forget everything. And it's Italians don't speak English, that don't speak English will not understand. So I'm taking 5 minutes to translate. Ok, allora, come dicevamo, li abbiamo giustamente anticipati, li abbiamo presentati come in realtà il duo creativo della band sono loro, quindi in realtà sono un duo, sì, possiamo chiamarli così. Florian in realtà è il fondatore fondatorissimo, ok, mettiamogli un superlativo assoluto, perché in realtà ha iniziato l'attività della band con un altro nome alla fine degli anni 90. La band si chiamava Of Trees and Orchids, quindi di alberi e orchidee, e ci ha spiegato anche che questo suo legame con i fiori, con insomma la fioritura e blossom è un po' atavico, anche perché il suo nome è appunto Florian, che è di origine latina, insomma, diciamo, noi italiani capiamo benissimo che cosa vuol dire floreale, quindi diciamo il suo legame con tutto ciò che è natura, tutto ciò che è floreale, tutto ciò che sboccia e che rinasce, lo si vede già dal nome iniziale della band. Poi cosa è successo? Hanno cambiato nome appunto verso il 2001, infatti te giustamente Alan dicevi prima si sono formati nel 2001, effettivamente sì, perché cioè, è cambiato nome la band, però in realtà tutte le premesse, tutte le lui, perché poi alla fine la grande mente, il grande artista, come diceva Norbert, e la parte geniale artistica è Florian, quindi diciamo in realtà l'attività risale a anni prima. Poi si sono conosciuti loro più o meno nel 2012 e hanno iniziato a collaborare. Norbert diceva che lui ha portato un po' la parte più trash, un po' più aggressiva, un pochino più diciamo la parte più tecnica del loro technical death metal dentro le composizioni della band, e ormai sono in realtà già al terzo album insieme, perché il primo insieme appunto è Continuum of Absence nel 2014, poi c'è stato Vision, Wallows and Symphonies of Light nel 2017 e poi Ontology of Nought che nel 2024, scusate, non trovavo la data. Detto questo, quindi è una collaborazione tra virgolette, io ho detto recente, perché comunque in realtà dal 2012 non sono passati pochi anni, però rispetto al 97, quando è stata fondata il primo progetto, la prima band, e poi nel 2001 in realtà è molto più recente. Detto questo, loro, come dicevamo, sono tedeschi. Florian in realtà ha vissuto per quasi tutta la sua vita sul confine con i Paesi Bassi, con l'Olanda, mentre Norbert è di Berlino, ha sempre vissuto tutta la sua vita lì, e ovviamente ragazzi noi non abbiamo chiara bene qual è la scena musicale, però cioè rispetto da una città rispetto all'altra, però sappiamo benissimo qual è la differenza tra la scena musicale di Milano, la scena musicale di Roma, eccetera. Quindi loro ci hanno tenuto a precisare questa cosa, probabilmente anche per farci capire la loro origine musicale, non soltanto di dove vivono e di dove, da dove sono partiti, ecco appunto. Niente più di questo, più o meno, li avevamo già presentati, li conosciamo come un gruppo avant-garde che va fuori completamente dai limiti. Da quando c'è Norbert sono anche un pochino più tecnici, però diciamo questa è la componente che ha modificato l'entrata di Norbert, però nel senso sono dei pazzi scatenati ragazzi, e dovete ascoltarli per rendervi conto di quanto è bello sperimentare con la musica e di quanto non ci sia bisogno di fare sempre la solita cosa. Dico bene, Alan?
Ok, sì, finalmente d'accordo. Allora siamo anche su tripla piattaforma, siamo arrivati anche su Instagram ragazzi dopo qualche piccolo problemino.
Ce l'abbiamo fatta, perfetto.
Come riuscite nel creare musica attraverso la vostra mente?
Okay, as stated before, that there will not be serious question, but actually this is a serious one, so please forgive us. Yeah, Alan is asking. He's saying your music feels like a journey through a labyrinthine mind. Okay, floral labyrinth, a maze, something really complicated. A real journey through something. How do you translate your internal mental processes into such complex sonic structures? What is the creating path that you go through?
I think we both let our mind float freely when we write riffs. Usually Florian starts with a foundation, and then I can and put some weird solos, some overdubs. Then Florian does some overdubs, and it builds up like every song is building up like a monster, which comes to life. And when we start writing a song, we don't know where it ends. Yeah, so we usually don't have a plan. Okay, we want the song in this way, in this way, and this way. We look, oh, that's good, that's weird. We take this, and that's I think is our typical writing and arrangement process.
But it's collaborative. I mean, you get together and let's see what you basically say. Okay, let's start from this, but let's see what happens. I mean,
yeah, Florian is making the foundation, the main riffs. I think 80%, 80 to 90%, the riffing are from Florian. And I how would I say it in English? Do some coloring with my riffing or solos or short overdubs over his music, and the same as Florian doing then again. Yeah, maybe you can explain better, Florian.
No, I think that's well explained, and I think possibly, some of the analogies we come up with, when it comes to creating complexity, might be, you can either, to put this really simply, you can either approach music or arts or anything, that is sequential with an a priori approach, or with a retrospective, as an, okay, it just happened and how come, and you try to understand the patterns. And what we do not do necessarily is to create the music a priori. So we don't sit down. And I had this discussion, for instance, with the flutist Daniel. You may have realized that on the last album, Ontology of Nought, on each track we have, it's not a recorder, it's flutes, different kinds of flutes.
I know. Thank you. I know.
Yeah. And that's important to our flutist Daniel, that he doesn't play the recorder. So anyway, he's a classically trained musician, and what he does is, we have this discussion, why don't you approach your music a priori, and exactly at the very beginning in advance that this is going to be a 25-minute piece. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. We have a totally different approach. And my analogy, and I know Anathema as a band is very, very well known and very loved in Italy as well, as far as I'm concerned. Anathema, My Dying Bride, and Old Paradise Lost are my big heroes. They are my ultimate foundation. Why do I mention these bands? If you listen to Pentecost 3, if you listen to The Silent Enigma, and if you listen to what's the one before The Silent Enigma?
I'm bad with names, so I'm sorry I can't help you. Sorry.
Crestfallen, for instance, right? These old Anathema songs, they are big harmonies, big harmonies, and that's one layer upon the other. And that's, or Steve Reich, from sequential minimalist music. And that's our approach. It just happens. We have this foundation, another layer, and at some point we say, that's enough. And sometimes we keep it simple, and most of the time we keep it terribly complex. Very sorry about that.
And no, I'm just thinking, but when and how is the process then when you decide, okay, the song is finished, the song is what I wanted?
Yeah, I understand. It can be, that's an interesting question with basically everything, right? It can be the lyrics, it can be the music, it can be the artwork. At some point, we intuitively know it's perfect now. We always have to be careful not to get lost in detail. That's definitely a tendency Norbert and I both have, that we are getting crazy and, excuse my French, anal about certain details. That's a terrible risk, and you need to mitigate that risk. But at some point, for some reason, we know now it's perfect, like a painting, like architecture. You say, now it's satisfying, and that's maybe a last thought. It needs to satisfy both Norbert and I, and then we say, all right, that's the last brush stroke, and now we have the feeling after all these years of experience. I mean, it's almost 30 years that we've been, playing music. We know intuitively. I cannot explain it, but we just know.
I'm asking because it's when you're free in music, it's very hard to understand when you like when it's done. I mean, my sound engineer always says, okay, songs need to be abandoned at one time because you never get satisfied. This is my case, but you said you find your point when you're completely satisfied. This is the most important thing for a musician, and it's something really it's the target. Satisfy the song. So if you intuitively you understand when it's done, when
I had to learn to let it go, to let it go. Florian taught me a bit indirect to let things go and develop for itself. At the beginning, I wrote some riffs and a quarter of songs and a second voice over. That's is. And I had to learn, that Florian contributed his own voice. And so I had to learn to let it go and say, okay, that's my stuff. It will change now, but it will be good. That's often a problem. I think not a lot of musicians could play in the core band of Ingurgitating Oblivion because they would be permanently offended by the fact the other person is writing another melody over his melody and change the whole context. So that was a learning process for me, and I learned that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing.
And that's something I'd like to re-emphasize. Norbert and I are the perfect duo, really, because there is no competition going on at all. It's just we have fights, we have discussions, perfectly fine. But I don't bear a grudge against Norbert, and he doesn't bear a grudge against me. It's non-competitive, so that's why, like Chuck Schuldiner of Death said, "Let the metal flow. Just let the music flow," and that's what the band is all about.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean,
partiamo con la traduzione, ragazzi.
Cosa?
Partiamo con la traduzione, partiamo.
Sì.
Yes. Have fun, Giada, have fun. Enjoy.
Allora, stavamo parlando appunto, la tua domanda sul qual è poi di base il processo creativo che porta a queste composizioni, nel senso buono del termine, fuori di testa, perché appunto loro fanno musica d'avanguardia, nel senso che sono completamente liberi, se ne sbattono delle regole, del questo va, questo non va, e fanno e creano secondo la loro anima. Una cosa su cui hanno puntualizzato entrambi è che è un lavoro sicuramente collaborativo, ed è molto bello quando due anime a livello musicale si incontrano, si capiscano e continuano a creare dopo comunque oh cute. Wait a minute. È molto bello quando si incontrano e continuano a creare, perché comunque sono 13 anni che stanno insieme a livello musicale, quindi non è una collaborazione così che dura 6 mesi e poi si scannano perché io voglio fare questo, io voglio fare quell'altro. Il processo creativo di solito è Florian, che adesso è scomparso tra l'altro, che parte con una struttura, diciamo, con una base, le fondamenta del pezzo, e poi eccolo, è tornato. E poi insieme creano il resto della canzone. E io gli ho chiesto anche una cosa importante, ossia, ma com'è che riuscite a capire quando un pezzo, cioè quando è che siete realmente soddisfatti, quando è che riuscite a capire come fermarvi? Perché quando si è liberi in musica, e liberi intendo, ci se ne sbatte del radiofonico, ci se ne sbatte del come potrebbero percepire le persone che ascoltano un brano, non è semplice riuscire a capire quando fermarsi, capito? Perché loro partono appunto da un disegno e poi aggiungono strato su strato non soltanto i colori, ma anche lo sfondo, altri personaggi al quadro, aggiungono tutta una serie di cose che sono in divenire. E loro mi hanno detto, non lo so, a livello intuitivo riusciamo a capire quando siamo entrambi soddisfatti e nessuno ha più niente da dire. È una cosa magica, perché è molto naturale riuscire a capire quando siamo completamente non soltanto soddisfatti ma felici anche, che sono due cose diverse, del brano. Poi mi ha portato degli esempi di band che sono state di grande ispirazione, non tanto per la musica, anche per la musica, ma principalmente per il metodo compositivo, perché lui ha detto ci sono spesso tantissime band, tra cui non ultimo il flautista che ha collaborato e che ha suonato le parti di flauto, ragazzi, ovviamente l'ha detta anche lui, si parla di flauto traverso, non del flauto dolce, quello delle medie. Si è trovato un po' così perché non c'era una struttura fatta a priori, nel senso loro sono anche molto che anche in studio prendono e cambiano le cose, ok? E non si fanno imbrigliare anche banalmente dalla struttura di una canzone. Fanno magari pezzi di 25 minuti senza esponendo un tema e non riportandolo, non riproponendolo più. E ha detto che tante band, tra cui vabbè gli Anatema, i My Dying Bride, che tra l'altro abbiamo i My Dying Bride, abbiamo avuto, ti ricordi Alan, l'anno scorso un esponente della band, li abbiamo intervistati, e ha detto loro sono state grandissime fonte di ispirazione, non tanto per la musica, anche per la musica, ma soprattutto per la libertà e per il metodo compositivo, ossia di tirar giù una struttura e poi essere completamente liberi di andare dove ci pare, senza a priori aver già diciamo solcato il sentiero. Ecco, che non è poco. Più o meno ho riassunto tutto quello che dicevamo, e adesso tocca a me, penso, immagino. Okay, this question is a little easier. It's my turn now, and I would like to know how was your upbringing in music? When did you start with music, and how come?
You want to go first, Norbert?
Yeah, I was always interested in music since young ages, and I listened to the old records of my father, Led Zeppelin, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and then came Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Gorguts, Monstrosity. And so it developed in this way, and I started playing guitar I think 14 years, with the age of 13 or 14 in this ballpark. Yeah, I played always in bands, and yeah, never stopped.
So your father was a real metalhead. I mean,
Not really. He was a judge, but he always listened to music like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, and Bach or
yeah,
Handel.
so
We had a lot of classical music, and I listened to old LPs. Yeah, and he introduced me to more better music than
I'm asking because it's not really common that parents for my generation and yours, so we're almost the same year, and it's not common for us in Italy to have parents that listen to Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Metallica. It's not something really. But when we were in our teen, we started alone listen to all this kind of music. That's why I asked you if your father supported you, not only with the listening but also with this career that you decided to.
Yeah, he bought me my first Slayer CD,
Okay,
and I am a Slayer fan since then. Yeah,
here too.
well,
Cool.
Yeah, and with me was also my dad. My dad was strictly a non-metalhead. He
Mhm.
hated everything
Need it.
metal related.
Uh-huh.
However, music was omnipresent. It was everywhere. My dad used to have, like, I don't know, a record collection of 4,000 records. It was mainly classical music, jazz, a lot of blues rock, so loads of Rolling Stones and so-called kraut rock, like German rock music.
Okay.
Loads of folk music, German folk music. Probably you folks don't know the guys, but Frank Bayer, Hannes Wader, Silverkröp, Peter Roland. So that's old. Not there's and then we drink some beer bullshit, but rather traditional pre-Nazi folk music that
Okay.
was not distorted and destroyed by Nazi Germany. So that's the real, authentic folk music that is about love and I don't know, spirituality, nature, melancholy, whatever. So it's kind of the old spirit of the music that did exist pre all the Munich bullshit that you're listening to or people are listening to. So that's kind of the music I was exposed to. My father, let's say, hesitantly supported me music wise. He didn't like the music at all, but after some years he realized, okay, Florian is sitting in his children's room practicing his arse off, so to speak. So there must be something serious. He's just playing these shapes and chords and progressions and techniques non-stop as a, I don't know, 12, 13-year-old. And I was listening to, I don't know, Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Uriah Heep, Dethrone, right, old stuff, anything. Celtic Frost are my big heroes, huh?
I imagine the shock that your father
He
was.
hated it, right? He called it acoustic pollution, right? That was the term he was using, but that was, of course, motivating to me. So anyway, music was everywhere. and it didn't have to be metal music. Music is such a vast, rich universe of possibilities, and I'm not this, hey, it needs to be this one genre only. But it taught me, I don't know, the spirit of an oeuvre, composition, passion, sequences, progressions, the longing, the romanticism that can be observed everywhere. So that's kind of my background that I went through as a child. Yeah.
Well, actually, both you had good experiences, even if I thought that you like musical families, like someone that playing some bands, or different. It's different. You didn't have. Did I understand right? You don't. Your parents didn't play any instrument. Didn't
My
have.
dad did. My dad was a guitar player. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And a
okay.
singer as well.
So
Yeah.
you also have experienced not only music but also like instruments and music played, not just on a CD or a vinyl. I mean, so it's something that can help a child, a kid, to develop also, of course, skills and tastes in music, even if you like passed on the dark side of the music after. But it's and also the important thing is if a family support the the son to pursue his dreams and this career is something really, really important. I'm asking also because the scene here in Italy is completely different, but for what I know, Germany, or for what Italians look at Germany like something super super great for music, for rock and metal especially. It is something that we don't experience here in Italy. We don't have metal scene. We have, but it's really, really tiny. So we always look at Germany like with bright eyes. Oh, that's the best part of Europe. That's why I asked you also if your families were in that part of music, but they.
Yeah.
they
However, let me make one point. I love Out of Penance, Italy, Hideous Divinity, Italy,
Yeah.
and possibly also Up at Nauseam, right? Crazy dissonant death metal from. I'm a big fan of them, so I appreciate the Italian metal scene as well. I'd like to make that
Yeah,
point.
I mean it's great. We have a very, very tiny metal scene, but there are a lot of bands, but a lot of bands that also don't have the opportunity to be heard, to be listened,
Yeah.
because the scene, also the listeners, the metal heads are not that. It's not a big thing here in Italy, and it's more than they are like treated bad if you listen to metal. We are trying to do our best to make people know a lot of bands. We are specialized in like super hard heavy music, but it's something that it's not that common here.
Yeah.
And we always look at Germany like la Mecca, we say, for music. It's something, okay, that's great for heavy music, and that's why I asked. I'm going to translate or I'll forget everything that we said. So give me 5 minutes to translate. Ok, raga, scusate, ma loro sono carinissimi ed è bello anche avere una conversazione e non fare soltanto domande secche. Allora, la mia domanda è stata qual è stata la loro educazione musicale, com'è la scena tedesca, com'erano i loro genitori e com'è che hanno iniziato a fare musica di base. Allora, in realtà entrambi hanno avuto esperienze positive anche da parte delle famiglie, che li hanno sempre supportati, sempre aiutati anche nella scelta delle carriere. Però, allora, mentre Norbert mi diceva mio padre aveva una collezione molto vasta di gruppi che andavano quando era giovane lui, tra il rock e il metal. Ha parlato di Led Zeppelin, ha parlato di Metallica, ha parlato di Slayer. Quando ha detto mio padre è stato lui a regalarmi il mio primo CD, che era uno dei CD degli Slayer. Quindi diciamo lui ha detto ho avuto un'esperienza positiva perché ho potuto attingere da tutta questa grande libreria che comunque spaziava dal rock and roll fino al metal un po' più pesante, e poi ho scelto la mia via, però la mia famiglia mi ha sempre supportato, mi hanno sempre aiutato in tutto quello che volevo fare, quindi è stato bello. Florian invece mi ha detto sì, anche lui ha avuto una famiglia che lo ha aiutato, lo ha supportato nella carriera eccetera, però suo padre, che oltretutto suona la chitarra, mi ha detto mio padre è un grandissimo estimatore di musica, e questo da un certo punto di vista è bello, è ottimo, da un altro punto di vista in realtà è stata una tragedia, perché quello che poi ho iniziato a fare io come musica lo chiamava inquinamento acustico. Perché suo padre è molto into, come si dice in italiano, è molto sul folk tedesco pre-nazismo, quindi roba veramente che parlava tanto di natura, che aveva tanto a che fare con le radici, insomma sappiamo tutta anche la tradizione non solo tedesca ma in generale norrenica è molto molto attaccata alla natura, al vivere nei boschi eccetera, molto sul rock and roll tipo bluesy, ok, quindi orientato al blues, quindi Rolling Stones, tutta quella branca lì, e quindi molto jazz e molta musica classica. E quindi lui ha detto ovviamente quando io ho cominciato ad ascoltare i Maiden, quando io ho cominciato ad ascoltare i Metallica, mio padre sentiva che io a 12-13 anni mi esercitavo tutto il giorno per diventare sempre più tecnicamente bravo, per sperimentare, vedi là, sentiva dalla cameretta e diceva ma che casino fa questo, cioè, ma che sta suonando, capito? E poi in realtà poi si è reso conto, anche suo padre ha detto che piano piano stava diventando bravino, come lui ha detto, ma io aggiungo molto bravo, e quindi ha cominciato a dire bene, non capisco cosa sta facendo, però probabilmente nel suo è bravo, ecco. E io gli ho detto beh, effettivamente se sei arrivato dove sei arrivato, penso che adesso ti dica beh, non lo capisco ma sei molto bravo in quello che fai. Sì, più o meno è stato questo quello che ci siamo detti.
Ok, allora la mia domanda è questa: la medicina e la musica come possono trovare un punto di incontro? Nel senso, sia per la vita e sia verso la morte. Quindi la medicina e la musica come terapia iniziale di vita e finale della morte, come possono far sì che l'essere umano nasce e muore?
Okay, I'm not sure if I totally understood what he's asking, but anyway, let's go with the flow.
Ask him to rephrase. I got some interesting keywords. I'm really interested in what his intention there.
Yeah, well, actually, it's not just about rephrasing. It's just the concept that.
Okay.
Let's see if I can go with this flow. Okay, do you think that I'm trying to ease also the pain of this question? Do you think that your music can be healing medicine, like for your listeners' ears and souls? It is something that can bring like a person from death to life. I told you it was difficult, hard concept, and if you believe so, in which way, how?
So essentially, the question is whether our music bears the capacity of bringing people who have deceased to kind of resurrect them, to revitalize them.
I don't know. So you can like try to. I don't know what he really means. I think okay. Let's put it this way. Can your music be an healing medicine for not only the ears of the listeners, but also for their souls? And let's go this way. Is there a particular album or song that you would recommend to a listener to heal his their
No. So I'm shaking my head because I would not recommend a specific piece. However, I think the question is super interesting, and I mean, do I know for sure that the music bears healing potential? I don't know. However, what I can say, especially lyrically, but also conveyed by the music atmospherically, that I perceive a lot of hope and beauty, and harmony and tension on the one hand, but then also some sort of relief and release from the tension. If you listen to Vision, Wallows, and Symphonies of Light, I mean, just think about the title. A vision that wallows in the symphony of light. Typically, symphonies are, associated with something grand, grandiose, beautiful, maybe even soothing and healing, if you will. There is a lot of science that was carried out when it comes to certain harmonies that promote plants in their growth, for instance, which certainly has healing potential. So, obviously, if you want to seek traces in titles or in the music, you will certainly find these traces. If I think about, I don't know, some of the tracks on Ontology of Nought, there is beauty, right? So, for instance, maybe you remember the song that is solely sung by a female singer, right? So that's, from my point of view, a beautiful, soothing, intimidating, still big and complex and sometimes strange. But if you listen to the lyrics, what is said is definitely not destructive for the sake of destruction. It's always something elevating, I'd say, or maybe even transcendent in the music, both lyrically but also sonically. So, and these are, I'd say, attributes I would always associate with a healing capacity. So it's not an intention we convey or an intention we pursue in our music, but it's certainly instilled or anchored in the music. And that's so yes, can it sort of resurrect or revitalize people or bring people back from the dead? Possibly, yes, if you practice mediumship, for instance, and kind of, and my wife certainly does, by the way. And my wife is the vocalist you hear on Ontology of Nought as well. So yeah, I think it's not far fetched. I'd say yes. That's a long-winded way of saying yes.
Great, thank you. So, I'm linking to this question. What is the main aim of your music? I make music because or to. What's the answer to this question? It's very hard. I know it's very difficult to
It's,
answer.
if I may continue, and then over to you, Norbert. I don't have a specific.
We make music.
Yeah.
We want to hear by ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't have anything of. We want success, so we adjust the music for it. That we make it for our deep passion for this kind of music, and we hope to drag people into this weirdness, universe of weirdness, and so they can be pleased by this music like we are.
Yeah.
That's our whole point. We make this music.
I agree, and it's pretty selfish in a way. So it needs to satisfy Norbert and I primarily. That's why we do it, and that's a privilege if you have the means and the time to create music. First and foremost for yourself, and then you share it with people, and you folks seem to enjoy it, I hope.
We do.
And when I get a message from someone from Canada who went through a difficult time and said, "Hey, I just put your music on in my headphones and I went for a walk through a frosty, cold forest in the middle of winter." I mean, are you crazy in Canada? How dare you do such a thing? But that was an elevating experience. Then I say mission accomplished.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's like an urgency for you to create that really please you, but also it's a form of communication with the world. I mean,
Exactly, and if you read the lyrics and if you read the credits and the extra information on the booklets, you'll understand that I like literature, not because I think it's a chic or something you have to do. I just enjoy it like drinking milk, right? I like milk,
yeah,
period. Um,
Yeah. Another
and
thing is,
I like, I don't know, Charles Baudelaire and Shakespeare and Wolfgang Borchardt, on the first album in 1998. I already did Antiquitäten that's so-called rubble literature. So that's the literature that was created directly following the Second World War. So these were young authors who were deeply traumatized by the horrors of the Second World War, Nazi Germany, and Wolfgang Borchardt is one of the, the anti-war pacifist kind of guys who committed suicide, I believe, or Kafka, or but also, romantic stuff like William Blake and Lord Dunsany and Lord Byron. So just reading and language is also something that we like to play with. It's just something we enjoy, period. Yeah.
yeah, and most metal music today is so commercialized
Yeah.
and so
Pop music.
it has always the same sheen, the same standards, and that
Yeah.
is not what we are used from metal back in the days. Yeah, in the early 90s, it was new. There were no standards, not really any borders for metal music. And today, most of the time, it became so boring. And maybe it's for us, a way to break out of it and say we make something with nothing to do with this commercialized scene. But I think weird. Metal was always back in the day anti-establishment, anti-norm, and now it's like what do we say in English for Volksmusik?
Folk music.
Yeah, it's like became most metal music became weird folk music.
Pop music, yeah.
Pop music,
probably.
I hate it so much.
Mancano gli ultimi 10 minuti, ragazzi, ormai meno di 10 minuti, partiamo con la traduzione e poi eseguiamo le ultime domande. Vai.
Ok, allora, nulla, di base hanno risposto che non è la cosa che loro fanno, cioè loro non scrivono musica principalmente per diciamo guarire le ferite altrui, ma più per guarire le ferite loro. Quindi sì, la musica può essere medicina per l'anima e per le orecchie, però deve essere una cosa autentica, deve essere una cosa che nasce realmente dal bisogno di fare musica. Questo è così per loro, ma al contempo può essere sicuramente un metodo per comunicare con il mondo. Infatti Florian diceva è bello, è incredibile quando qualcuno ci scrive e ci dice stavo ascoltando la tua musica e la tua musica mi ha aiutato in un periodo rispetto a un altro. E questo sicuramente, ragazzi, come anche loro come dicevano, la musica è un linguaggio universale, riesce a unirci, tralasciando musica, cultura, ambiente, environment in cui viviamo, ed è meraviglioso perché comunque riesce sia ad essere una medicina, però ha detto oggigiorno vedo un sacco di realtà che sono tutte stereotipate, tendono a fare musica sempre nella stessa maniera per essere ascoltati, per accodarsi a qualcosa che esiste già, e questo non rende giustizia a quella che è la potenzialità e il potenziale della musica, e loro su questo sono totalmente liberi, se ne fregano, se ne sbattono altamente di quelli che sono i canoni e di quello che la gente, diciamo, o meglio il il mercato vuole, e dicono se siamo arrivati anche solo ad un'anima, il nostro scopo è raggiunto, ecco, insomma. Però principalmente è più un'urgenza per loro fare musica ed esprimere quello che pensano. Allora, come dicevo, mancano 10 minuti, partiamo con le ultime due domande.
Sì, le due ultime domande, la marchio italiano e poi la mia, vai.
Okay, we are almost ran out of time, so we have the last two questions. They are the terrible ones. I'm sorry for you, but now this is my turn to torture you, because at the end of the interview, I asked the Italian question, so a question on typical Italian topics. It's a sort of quiz to test your knowledge about Italian.
Right, okay.
And Italy. Okay. There is a saying that Italians always talk about food, and it's not just a saying, it's true. We always talk about food. So tonight we're talking about food once again. This time about one of the most sacred rituals the Italian have. Okay, this is the question, and I will give you 4 different options to choose from for the answer. The question is, in Italy, what does the term fare la scarpetta, in English, doing the little shoe, mean? What does term mean? And I'll give you option. Option number 1, buying a new pair of handmade leather shoes. 2, taking a walk after a big meal to help digestion. 3, using a piece of bread to clean the remaining sauce off your plate while you're eating, of course. 4, stamping on grapes to make homemade wine. Fare la scarpetta, doing the little shoe.
Eating the rest of the plate or something.
You have to choose one option. I can repeat both. Should I? Okay.
Yes.
It's a very difficult test. This is for the Italian citizenship. So, okay. Allora, first, buying a new pair of handmade leather shoes.
Yeah.
Second one, taking a walk after a big meal to help digestion. The third, using a piece of bread to clean the remaining sauce off your plate. 4, stamping on grapes to make homemade wine.
I think it's number 3.
Yeah,
you kind of to wipe the sauce and enjoy it with some nice bread.
In Germany, my grandma said, jetzt wird aber aufgegessen, which means you eat everything from the plate. Don't waste any food. In this case.
So, option number 3, using a piece of bread to clean the remaining sauce. And you pass the test. It's the correct answer.
We are Italian now.
How do you say it in German again?
Es wird gegessen, was auf den Tisch kommt.
Yeah, you finish your soup, otherwise you'll get into trouble here.
Very long word I will never remember, but anyway, thank you very much to join the Italian question. I will translate.
To eat what is on the plate.
Yeah, so. I got it, but I really into the German language. I don't speak a word, but I really do like the musicality. I don't know why, but I really love German. So I really like to hear it from someone that is German. Basically, I got my friend that is speaking German, but she's not from there. She's Italian, so it's a different accent. Anyway, I will translate. Loro hanno vinto l'Italian quiz perché ragazzi gli ho fatto una domanda un po' cattivella. Ossia, che cosa vuol dire fare la scarpetta? E le opzioni erano queste: uno, e poi ho tradotto fare la scarpetta, quindi fare doing the little shoe, quindi poteva trarre un po' in inganno. L'opzione numero 1 era comprarsi un nuovo paio di scarpe in pelle, quindi c'era scarpa un po' bastardella su sta risposta numero 2 era fare una passeggiata dopo un pasto abbondante per aiutare la digestione. Risposta numero 3 era usare un po' di pane per appunto fare la scarpetta, va bene? E la risposta numero 4 era pestare l'uva per farsi il vino fatto in casa, e senza grosse discussioni sono andati subito dritti al punto alla risposta numero 3, quindi hanno passato il test italiano. E mi ha detto anche, mia nonna dice sempre questa parola tipo lunga 10 chilometri, che in tedesco vuol dire finire tutto quello che è nel piatto, e che un po' si può ricondurre al fare la scarpetta. Ora per noi è un rituale, ecco, però insomma sì, ha senso. Vai Alan, tocca a te con la domanda del canale.
Allora, ragazzi, prima di tutto grazie mille di cuore di aver accettato l'intervista, è stato veramente un piacere, molto interessante appunto la vostra proposta musicale Technical Death. Vi auguriamo il meglio nella vita privata e nella vita artistica, come sempre, appunto come Calice Nero appunto sottolinea appunto questa dicitura. Detto questo, in alto appunto su fianco alla faccia, ok, di Giadetta c'è il calice nero. All'interno di questo calice dovete inserire una bevanda sofisticata, portando con sé sia la parte avant-garde e la parte più technical, tralasciando la parte death metal. Quale sarebbe la bevanda perfetta per inclinare quella parte che ancora dentro di voi cresce giorno dopo giorno come musicisti?
Okay, Helen is saying, thank you very much for being with us tonight. It's been a great honor. He's a I'm too, but he's a really, really great fan of yours. And it's a big honor for me, for him to have you tonight. Thank you so much. We're wishing you the best in your life and your music career. And whenever you would like to be back on the channel, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much. The very last question is, this is the Black Chalice, il Calice Nero.
Yeah.
Get the name of the channel. If
Yeah.
you have to pick something to drink with the Black Chalice to describe your music, and with your music, Alan is referring to the avant-garde part and the technical part, putting apart for just a minute the death metal part of your music. What would you drink to describe your music?
Oh, that's a nice question. So what kind of beverage would I put in the chalice to drink or to have and enjoy with our music? Oh dear. I think I'd go for a nice Chianti.
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 Come on. Come on. You need to be in Florence to drink a real Chianti,
and have a good time with Hannibal Lecter, right? Like Dr. Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Florence.
Hopkins.
It makes sense to me. And for you?
And how about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I think what would I drink? I really don't know.
Hot chocolate with some cream.
No, not hot chocolate. Maybe some. I don't know. Just a glass of water with maybe tea. Maybe black tea.
You can drink whatever you want, so it's your choice.
You
I want. Drink just pure plain water. It's okay. Cool. So water, maybe with some tea at one point, and a Chianti.
20 years ago, I probably would have drank a little bit absinthe to it.
Absinthe.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't drink.
No, I don't drink anymore. I stopped 20 years ago.
Okay, you stopped, but absinthe, it makes sense. Is the third eye of the poet, so it makes sense to me. guys, I cannot find the words to thank you. It's been a privilege to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Been so patient also with us. Thank you very much. Forgive my bad English. I tried my best to speak to you and to translate everything that we said. Anyway, everything it's on YouTube, so if you want to rewatch with subtitles, it will be great. Guys, thank you so much. Whenever
Thank
you
you.
would like to be back, we're here, and whenever you would like to be in Italy as tourist, as a musician, everything, we
We will contact you.
love
Yeah.
to have you as our guest. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you very much. See you soon, guys. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Good night,
you.
Florian.
Take
Good night,
care.
Florian.
Bye both.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks a
Bye-bye.
lot.
Bye.
Appreciate
Thank
it. Bye.
Bye bye.
Allora,
Bye bye, Robert.
alla risposta del canale ci hanno detto, alla risposta del canale, la nostra classicona del cosa berrebbero. Allora, Florian, un bel bicchiere di Chianti, e vabbè, dai, sì, cioè, è il suo, ha senso, ha detto, lo berrei però come Hannibal Lecter, ovviamente, quindi un pochino creepy, mentre siccome Norbert ha smesso di bere da 20 anni, ha detto, se ancora bevessi avrebbe avuto un Assenzio, che è il terzo occhio del poeta, quindi torna, perfetto, però siccome non bevo più ci bevo acqua semplicissima che nella sua semplicità è avanguardia.
Perfetto ragazzi, noi ci vediamo direttamente domani, grazie Giada, ci vediamo direttamente domani con un altro gruppo italiano ragazzi e poi ci vediamo anche il 25, sempre sul Calice Nero, quindi Calice Nero sta tornando e poi già a marzo verrà presentato appunto con il nome dello speciale del Calice Nero appunto della Sardegna, che ci sarà veramente tanto da lavorare, quindi ne vedremo delle belle, con tanto di foto e video in bianco e nero, sia foto in bianco e nero e a colori e i video in bianco e nero e a colori di tutta la Sardegna. Quindi ragazzi, il grande spettacolo continua e non si fermerà mai, il sacro codice è 000, la morte viene dai libri. Au revoir.